Minerals Commission. And the journey was rough right from the beginning. We started this journey together from 1989, about 33 years ago. And at that time, we were with you, and we are still with you. You know, as a Minerals Commission, our mandate is to regulate the mining industries in Ghana. We are also responsible for management of mineral resources and the utilization of mineral resources of this country. And the coordination and the implementation of policies related to them. You know, as a regulators, we need to put in place regulatory framework to guide the whole small-scale mining or the mining industry in general. But we are particular about the small-scale mining industry today, because today is your day. Madam Chairperson, I think it's very important to know and understand the evolution of small-scale mining in this country. Because if you don't know where you are coming from, you may not know where you are going. And at the end, you may get lost. You know, our forefathers started small-scale mining long ago, before the arrival of Europeans into this country. But when they came to this country, you know, they discouraged the indigenes from undertaking small-scale mining or their own way of doing mining. And mining is more or less a tradition that has been handed over from generation to generation. So our people were doing it. They were regarded as illegal miners. Sometimes they will be arrested, beaten, imprisoned, and sometimes even killed. But they continue to do it because that is their profession. This thing went on throughout the whole of the colonial era until we got independence. Even after the independence, you know, we virtually inherited almost all the laws from our colonial masters. And because of that, we also continue in the same way, arresting them. No structures were put in place to protect the indigenes from doing mining. Sometimes we imprison them. Even we torture them and kill them, but they keep on doing it. At a certain point in time, even Togo, which was not even having a single operating mine, was exporting gold. Where from those gold? Definitely from Ghana. And those things, couple of the economic recovery programs that the government at the time was undertaking, led to the promulgation of small-scale gold mining law in 1989. And at the same time, two other laws were promulgated. That is Mercury law, that is PNDC law 217, and the Precious Minerals Marketing Corporation law, that is PNDC law 219. And those three laws were promulgated at the same time to allow the registered small-scale miners to get access to mercury and use for their processing of ore. And at the same time, a suitable marketplace was created for them to dispose of their products, which is gold, so that Ghana can export gold and then earn foreign exchange. So in that 1989, that was the beginning of the formalization of small-scale mining in this country. And from that point up to today, you have gone far. You passed through rough roads, really rough roads. But today, we are here to celebrate that day. Exactly 33 years ago, that law was promulgated. So that is how small scale was born. And today, we are the beneficiaries of that law. And the theme you select for this particular occasion, that is responsible and sustainable small-scale mining. I think this re-echoes the rebirth of formalization. That was the essence of small-scale mining. And we all know the importance of small-scale mining. Today in Ghana, we can say small-scale mining provides more than 1 million jobs directly to people. And you also know, our research has shown that even for each of the small-scale miners, we have about 5 people depending on them. So virtually we are having more than 5 million people benefiting from small-scale mining. So it's a very significant subsector of the economy. And you also know that small-scale stimulates the local economy. Anywhere you have small-scale mining, the small-scale mining is more or less a pivot around which all the economic activities revolve in the areas you find them. You know, small-scale miners are the only institutions that supply raw materials to our jewelry industries. So without the small-scale mining, it means the jewelry industries will no longer be there, because the large-scale mining companies just produce and export their products to Bank of England, Switzerland, and all those places. It is only the small-scale people who actually feed the jewelry industry. And we also generate foreign exchange earning to the country. And the small-scale miners serve as a precursors. They are more or less called path founders. Let's get me water. Activities that large-scale mining companies were able to discover large deposits of ores. And you know the production that the small-scale miners give as far as gold is concerned. In average, currently we are producing about 1/3 of the total gold production. And it's because of the small-scale mining gold, that is why you become the largest gold producers in Africa. Now you have overtaken South Africa, all as a result of, or partly as a result of the small-scale mining. You have all these benefits, but as you all know, the industry is bedeviled with a lot of challenges. Major one is the illegal mining. Mining in unauthorized places you are not supposed to mine. You go and mine there and cause a lot of devastation. Now we declare some areas as red zones. Those are the water bodies. We don't want anybody to operate on the water bodies. We don't want anybody to operate on the forest reserves. We don't want anybody to operate on Ramsar Game Reserve and all those areas. And as you all know, lack of geological information is a problem to small-scale mining. Lack of access to capital is a problem for small-scale mining. And lack of maybe block-out areas is also a problem. That is where sometimes you encroach on the large-scale mining companies and the land use conflict become an issue which normally degenerates into a lot of problems. And the perceived complexity of the licensing processing. Our licensing regime, some of you perceive it to be too complex. So because of this, Minerals Commission has taken it upon itself to actually minimize most of these challenges, if not to solve them completely. So in Minerals Commission, we believe in the term you have chosen. We normally associate ourselves with this term, responsible mining. We want operations in this country to be very responsible. And what is that responsible mining? Responsible mining, as far as we are concerned, it means an operation or an operator who first of all obtain license, mining license to operate, and all the requisite permits to operate. And you are supposed to meet your tax obligations, including the local levies. And you are supposed to operate in an environmentally sustainable manner, taking into account health and safety of the workers, that is devoid of child labor. And last but not the least, you are supposed to obtain social license from the community you are working. If you get all these things, then you can tell yourself that, yes, I'm actually undertaking responsible and sustainable small-scale mining. And that is why we want to go. That is why we associate yourself with the team. And we will always be with you. And because of that, Minerals Commission has put some measures in place, which we just term strategic rethink. That is to make available some conditions and some measures that to support and promote small-scale mining in this country. Some of those measures we put in place is to block more areas for small-scale mining. Currently, we have more than 170 areas that have been blocked out for small-scale mining, covering area in excess of 7,000 square kilometers. So those people who want to engage in small-scale mining, kindly contact the nearest district office and find some place to work. Don't go to the water bodies, don't go to the forest reserves, don't go to those restricted areas. You have some lands available for you to undertake mining. Secondly, we are undertaking geological investigation in those areas. And we are tackling these things in three fronts, because we know geological investigation is very important. Sometimes let's ask ourselves, why is it that the large-scale mining companies are operating sustainably? They are there, they know they operate within 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, and all those things. Because they have undertaken geological investigations, they know exactly where the ore is, they know exactly how to mine it. And if you know those things, environmental sustainability will be okay for you, because you know exactly.
That he wanted me to chair this function. I asked him why, and he said, "You've been our mother for so long, so we need you with us." I was going to come to this function anyhow, because it has been my duty as chairman of the steering committee of the small-scale mining at the Minerals Commission. I have worked very closely with the executive of the Small-Scale Miners Association. So I was going to be here anyhow, and I'm glad that I came. The Minerals Commission, since 2017, decided that it was important and imperative to work closely with the small-scale miners, because at the end of the day, with the proper facilities, with the proper equipment, proper training, and proper interaction, they will become the big mining companies of Ghana. And therefore, we made it a point to engage them. When we formed the steering committee in the beginning, I was not part of it. I had encouraged it to be formed, and I was busy in other spheres, so I was not part of it. But when the new board was sworn in, and I continued as a board member, I was asked to chair the committee, and have done so very gladly. We have realized that there is so much that can be achieved if we give them the necessary support, if we hold their hands and work through all our difficulties together. And that is why we are here today, to work through our difficulties together. Because if we don't help them, and we don't encourage them to do the right thing, we shall all be at the losing end. So we pledge that we are going to be with you from now onwards and stay with you until we get it right. It is imperative we have to get it right. I will not say much again. I would sit down, and afterwards I would give my remarks at the end of the whole.
Happy to be part of this program, which talks about ensuring responsible and sustainable small-scale mining sector in Ghana, our shared responsibility. Na adwinkese na ka na sembi o se mredi nti yentimi nka brofo enti yebeka chi ye wa santimamu. Small-scale mining na yen nyina yenim se e ade papa. Oba you matter e kan sem bi se bibia wudua enye yen e wese e mining. Inti go wudua emfifi. Inti de tie bia no e wese e mining. Na ne mining no e ya ade a aboa yen bebree. Because Ghana ha 33 years ago, you regularized artisanal and small-scale mining. na small scale miners na no contribution to national gold 2.2%. Every one etimi enyinia kwa akodu be 45%. Consistently above 35%. Na mo amuti hai ana mo etimi aboa masade nakoso yeda mo ase. Yenim say small scale mining so contribute a lot to local economic development. Because probi o ha obekọ ho no na nka ka kwan kura entimi nko ho. And so enam small scale miners adwuma a omo ye nti no obehwe na afika akwan eda ho na ebi a hospital bi aba ho obehwe na school bi aba ho eno so ye da mo ase. Ebio small scale mining etimi employ nipa beye 1 million e Ghana ha. Na se nipa 1 million ni na se obi ansa so nipa beye 6 kura so a, it means the small scale mining no it may take care of nipa beye 6 million e Ghana. Se Ghana your population e 30 million. Na se one sector it may take care of 6 million dia na nya asem ketu akra yeda mo ase. Normal bebre akoso was small scale mining sector. Na bebre eye na ebiso enye. De enye no so bi ni sen. Edu ba bia mope asase a agudie wo so. But enam say mo nya geological work ni ntino. Ba bia na mutu amna. Se wonam ekwan so e ba ya mfura. Efrita kwa yo ba bia small scale miners amotiti hai. Mutimi tu ya akotu kwan na se mekwan ni bubu mu. Adentia. Obehwe na obi asore kra ase ana yetu. So fujina ho preacher go to obi apie mfimfi ho. Okura shovel. Adentia. Normal bebre wo ha small scale miners mo ye mfatam. Se moko kroma mekai se mre bi nkutim so. Maami bi awawo ntafo okwa mfikyira kwa akotete aduro okwa ehu no akosua wei se ofa mfikyire ho no small scale miner bi atuam na wakwa akotom wawu wagya ntafo de ho mo yesa ya de papa dunkwaw na me ye adwuma bi wo pokukrom akula bi yare dindin nam si anakula mfa no hospital osi oni sika anam si na ne papa wei osi ne papa no mboni e frɛ ne sen osi e frɛ ne sami anam si ana o papa no ni mi ya galam se fo ye ba ha bi na be hye mi nyinsen ana wagya me hokko se oti ha na de sami no ya adwuma okokukuro ma ka oba yare ko hwe no no ma bebre wo ho akoso a enye ebio insio a modi edi akotene ye nyina ye nim se uye adwuma as a small scale miner na se insio bi da wo nchen a wobetimi aye adwuma wa bra waste na wo generate no enko nsio no ye ne mpanfo ya to adwene ye develop bibi e frɛ no pond system a ohuro egu baakum na particles na settle atena kwa akogu baakum na by the time ebedu be third pond na nsuo nani ate obetimi asabi ade aye wadwuma inti se pra wo nchen a umfa won sanka se ofina wo nchen a umfa won sanka enso ko ba bi te se pristia ni petimi ahoro small scale mining waste agu nsuo mama nsuo no pra pent ni bi awi nsuo akese te se pra tanno bia ene de kika ho nyina no menu mienu ye se no yenhwa nsuo bi te se pra ukọ mampon hwidie ma eho na hye ase efi ofin na meka ho asem ukọ mampon hwidie ma eho na hye ase efi eho ye sanom ba ta me betwam wo bipua ye sanom aguna ye sanom bo man ye sanom de twam koduru infensi na starti ewo inchemu a mo starti mining sa bompe eni kotokuom ho no a bontomuro so no na sei hwanu na sei no Tonze muntimi nkasa. Inti efiri bontomro so eko afepaye tontokrom enenam ho nyina ebeba bepie shed any pokukrom ekosi time ebebo pramu warisem de mo ase ni nyina pra nankasa efiri obo eba enim praye so ba eniti yesano even ebeba bedu dwa so kra no still eye yesano na aka nkrobe mienu amana bo ofimu no ana pra start to say because a hona a goodie wa alamsey for eye inti je nyina ya hu say no man bi wo ho a ye a emmoa but team ya de ya adwuma no say responsible dey mind ye ka say responsible mind na anything opanyin e ka ho asem bebre mami nka ho mienu nka ho. One, you respect all stakeholders. You will respect all stakeholders. So law message license abusia kwaje license. So law message ko water resources commission because we ba use nsia ko na kwaje EPA for na ti ha no monko EPA monko kwaje license. Na even community na mo ye adwuma wo mu no mon ma anase ye nyina ye ma respect for the regulations within the community. And yes, we always see that no one started trim now rough. Obi rekra now turn to there be any. So we respect all the stakeholders. We minimize the environmental impact. Say the beya normal ye to enko say insio enko say obi fufro assess. Then says ba fair distribution. Unya bitu attacks now the be to attacks. So what's going mine abaka so na di krami e manya hwe intisika na menkofa infama me katasa asedo. Enye sika adwuma bia na ya utim nye sika de to BMW. Una otu asase. Inti watu no anya hwe because when nye sika nti beja na hosa amobi aba betomu. Ya ade a moma yanwini nkwa akire na ye hunu se bibia ye be ne nne no ochina ye benya hu sunsanso se wanya wo fa ase bi ne benya inti ye hunu saade a ye betimi aboa ama bibia ye inti efri samre ikon mumye nyina ye nto ato adwene ye nkan adwene mom ne ye take decision say ye be ye responsible mining ye tu amana ye be kata so say ye washi agudi a ye mani nkogu nsuom ema nsuo na ni ye fin because they say no wo ma nsuo na ni ye fin no hwani a wokọ afuom no say wontimi enkonom nsuo na wo afuom ho no di osan to pure water na odi akọ wo ma ne cardos inti ye can responsible mining wo ye na wo dwene de owo akire ho no so say de be ya wo to gold no ono so say wo mane nko a you don't put him or her at a disadvantage. And now 2nd June, and it is exactly 33 years ago Anna the small scale mining law was promulgated. Na yanim painfo ya etihei and ye to adwene say yenka ye hummom na yen celebrate saa day we as a sustainable small scale mining awareness day. Said the bear afibia na ye be kaka ye ho say adwuma ayeye edimu ana na de enimu na ya ye niye ni atoaso. Last year ye celebrate ye no ye hye ye ho bobi empanfo ye wo ho ka say one ombe make sure say mercury ye use no ye use a ye ntoto emma mercury no enkowie na mom ye bepɛ kwan bi a ebetimi a capture mercury no na omo wa hoɔden no so no ombetimi akɔ mercury free said ye be ya mercury no entimi nkowie enkɔsɛ amanfo no ma bebre because a mercury toha nessa sulfides ekakra wo ha sulfides no betimi a generate acid the mo friend akoko sika no eno na me friend sulfides no betimi a generate acid no be dissolve mercury no so mercury no consume in kontomre wo ho a ebe absorb Uba kotom kontomre na mekuru ubedi na akwa fast mabro. Na ye kan sa asem we afiaba na de mi bisa me hono se sa abɔhye no yetimi adi so a ye adwene se ye ma foreigners e ma me hye adwuma no na ɔmo mfa sika na ye nya no eno so nkɔ eno so mi bisa me ho se yetimi aya na se Ghana ni small scale mining ewo Poku Krom anase anyinamu a obedi sika no wa anyinam sika no beka ho wa ani wa anyinam a obedi wo oda wa ani wo oda obedi wo Kumasi na sika no atena Krom ase to contribute to national value addition inti enunti ne yesi ya ma foreigners e ma mehyem bi e mbe sika no keto ana aka no eno so nko yetimi adi so ana ye wo no ma bebre a ye ka ase e beye inti sesi ya ye ka ka ye ho no so san call site busa ho se wo wohye o no e consume ana o makro no ugu so toton ana e mekosoro ana so timi collect all scale mining school into batakwa Tuesday bia no panelists here small scale miners room superintendents from the large scale mines any community people issue at what small scale mining yaye 12 models ni aye adwene se de bema mpanfo yi na baby ye small scale mining bia omo FM station ye mobi na musumuntie bi na se problem bi wo ho a ye beto aso ni yahwe na yaye ni ebio ye minerals commission for na in fact minerals commission board omo wo sese no adwempa wo mo trimo pa ye ni omo engage se omo maya asase kakra blocked out areas here ya bobo atoho a muntimi nyemu adwuma because munim baby a gold no wo yes omo maya bi na ye so ye be exploration ni ahwehwe baby a gold no wo ni e di data na ma omo normal license back to small scale miners ye ka sa no omo maya 40 square kilometers say ye nyeso adwuma ni enfa resource mre Oman so ha omama ye ka ba kwata si emfanya adwu na megidi ye se e bia afebeso a ye besi agina ho biem sese na bia ya 40 square kilometers na wie ama mo hu ba bia gold no wo ma bia mo bi kra agege no concession na ya to aso ye ba bi fufo e bio oba ye school ho a ya set up ba bia e frɛ no small scale mining hub aye hub director Dr. Jmekoku aha ya sheda yi lecturer ba ko a oye galamsey professor on the teacher into the galamsey ni bia wo problem na ba you matter ne number wo frɛ no na ne ni nkita ho kakra so wa adwenkyerɛ wo mu a obetimi a kyerɛ so ni adwenkyerɛ a impemfo e wa ho ma small scale mining na kyɛ omo onim die bebree ye nyina beto ato adwene ni yehu ba bia e wese ye defa ebio ye research in kitinkiti bi especially water issues na ye information no ba kwa me hu say insu a asai ni nyina no ye ka se ye beti a ye betimi ate na me pese me throw challenge ba ko say ene ye 2nd June 2022 between now and 2nd June 2023 Mume nyina yen kan ya ho odin mom small scale mining UMAT minerals commission na yen choose nsuo mienu ne enti ani samo ma me suggest pra na ma suggest brim yen ti san nsuo mienu nani na obi akoto sa afa ni ani aye krogin a na semfo ana bua e ma ye ti ani e fekeke I'm hoping, sir, we can together think about it and do it. We can do it. I like that. We can do it, and let's do it. Say the Abaya next year, another anniversary. We can look back and say, oh, year 2022, dear, yes, I am Hubobi, Yatimia, Intiafedi, Yakoyeni, Medamoas. The American cat one say. Mestre Minerals Commission for said, sir, day 2nd June, they should adopt it. so that it becomes not just small-scale miners and UMAT, but a national event. Our calendars. Say the ministers, the workers, the board, everybody would team up with NASEM and UMAT for us to celebrate this day. So next year, we are going to write a proposal. Say, 2nd June should be celebrated all over the world as Small-Scale Mining Awareness Day.
Chairman, na yeka chairman universal. Your mankind no yeka mankind na just obia ba ye be mankind. Enti adenti e be friend say madam maybe chairperson and answer bibi. Enti any time any dey be share meeting bia no say friend me chairman. Enti muti madam chairman na chair say Auntie Judith and I say ye mama Judith ni openi. Message yeah, Vice Chancellor, Professor Akwesi Amankwa of UMAT. Debi only kasa otaka say senior. Bibi obeke bia we abufra say den kra o senior. Enu kire ahombrase ene ahofama a owo e small scale miners. Eni nipa bi oni besan. The sign etia Minerals Commission board members e wo ha. Efi ye ma me Judith too. Ye papa told me any MPs are mukahu. Every SK honorable SK for time. Yeni board na din so a ebin si da. The first time I share o can say former good year tu na Ghana for 2 year e be to say senior South Africa amanfo ka say Johannesburg yetumia mining to make some wealth and they've changed their economy. If Ghanaians participate in the exploitation of our minerals properly, then BBA in terms of what we'll be getting, it will remain in this country and the multiplier effect will be a lot. Yesho Boasi na Oshe Ejuma Ekoswa. Small scale miners will do na. They are the people that invested their money in Obuasi Township because that is where they come from. And Abansro, commercial areas, any activities are the people that invested are people that are coming from that community. This shows when we take proper care of the industry, the ASM industry is going a long way to transform our local economies and also ensure that there is development for our own good. Yeah, Papa, on this the deputy CEO, Mr. Tika, in charge of mining, small scale mining, and industrial mining. And Papa, Uncle Nelson, always smiling. Assembly didn't say, then cry, obviously. No, I catch you say, who beside say, how are you doing now? Or so. Small, like small scale mining. That's the more take. Yeah, Papa, so for and DCs, and as only representation, if you are Amansia West, Amansia East and South, you know, a sign HMW. Small scale miners are free all over the country from the northern part up to the southern part of the country. You say Chiamu because we who Yenu Robert upper east to Aha, Masen who ball left war. Masen who one swa ofri Sunyani and I one hour bim Ashanti region there any Amansi any Mubia Munina Moha. Nampenjifo do na akasa afa in Fasua small scale mining deba in terms of benefits, But send your uncle without your history you will not know where you are going. Until every time biano say to me ekwechi near kai na yetumi hwe baby yedu and then it will redirect us into the future. Senior Prof Prof Akwesi Amankwa this day is the second celebration for the signing or the promulgation of the small scale mining industry into law, so that Ghanaians will be able to engage in small-scale mining without being chased. It has legal benefits, and as a legal status for Ghanaians to be able to participate in the small-scale mining sector. So every year we are going to celebrate. This is the second time we are celebrating it. And as we say, next year we want it to be bigger. We are going to collaborate with the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Minerals Commission, and other agencies to make it international. Already, Cote d'Ivoire, any other side or other areas like Liberia and Adin Kasa. Send you bet me invite you now near celebrity. So next year is going to be bigger. The planning is going to be good. Now, Ushemwa, in the bid 1989, government made it a policy direction, say, Obama small scale mining, Abia Dia, Yebeye, Nedi Faswaba. And the objectives are one, to provide an avenue for employment generation with a view to curbing rural to urban drift. Sancrophobic free a crisis said, do one echo. Abia, we free the crisis of Bakumasi and Ankara. So, I should say, Juma, anyhow. That is one of the objectives. That's why government mainstreams small-scale mining. Also, to absorb the excess labor to be retrenched because of the structure adjustment program, which was being implemented at that time, and to monitor and supervise the activities of small-scale miners by ensuring acceptable mining practices with minimum damage to the environment, provide a ready official market for minerals to ensure the maximum contribution of the subsector to the national economy, thereby reducing the incidence of smuggling of precious minerals to neighboring countries. And last one, to stem the tides of the encroachment of small-scale miners on legal large-scale concessions. And in a PNDC law 218 was promulgated, and now we have the Minerals and Mining Act, and also into the Minerals and Mining Act 703 of 2006 as amended. Now, when you look at the sector, the small-scale sector is also divided into two. We have those who are doing the exploitation or mining of precious minerals, to say gold, diamond, and coal. And then we have the industrial minerals. Presently mined on small scale include salt. You're mining industrial minerals, to say salt. And also can a good year, good one have to say you're mining salt. And to share small scale mining, a bois. Then we have something like limestone, kaolin, oyster shells, silica sand, brown clay, etc. These are you're mining within the small scale sector. Now, in the past, we were able to mine without heavy equipment because the gold deposits were so shallow. So you can use your pickaxe, you can use your shovel, and then you mine. But now it's gone. So there's this introduction of heavy equipment into the small scale mining sector, which the law also accepts. Ocean Minerals and Mining Act is there that we should exploit the minerals using effective equipment, and Ocean Airline and small scale mechanization is not something that is against, the law is against. But with the use of it, there are so many negative footprints because all bodies are deep seated now. And also, especially illegal miners, they are not able to even cover. Small scale mining, every 1989, production was 2.2%, and now it has rose up to 35%. As we speak now, there is no single large scale mine that produces more than small scale mining in this country. Every ounce of gold mine here, they are mining 3 ounces of gold back every small scale mining center. say you may engineer boys because the contribution is very significant. Near Tosumiano, diamond in a mining Okroma, every small scale mining sector. All diamonds mined are from the small scale sector. We don't have any industrial or large company mining diamond here. Jewelry that we use in this country also comes from raw supply of gold from the small scale mining sector. And if you look at the value addition, it also creates a lot of job, because when you add value, say a 2-year former good year, near the ornaments na the idea, and some creative job opportunities downstream, and also small scale sector. And to be sharing why now we say when the small scale miners say and you said you so you can not go to me. If you say Kawana ye shedding the same small scale miners and the demand near to me SCC. But you also this so bonny being swab or mine. Ebony said some of the challenges over the years, they say people have mined and did not mine responsibly. May see your platform so the time we started saying say we are going to celebrate 33 years of the promulgation of the small scale mining law 2118. Someone says 33 years of military brutality, 33 years of destruction of our equipments, 33 years of what? Then I have to sit and ponder over it. Then I ask myself, if it's 33 years and we have the same issues by successive governments, then there is a problem. We shouldn't blame too much of what is happening, but we should look within and see what is causing that issue over the 33 years that we've existed as small-scale miners. Dear Ned, this time, so the banner, the beer, soldier for HAC, I see a cassatre who near Chesse, see any year, Yasa near me. Now, so soldier for over the 33 years of using military within the small-scale miners. What have we achieved as a state? Clearly shows that we need to use a different approach. We need to have a real look of what the strategy that we are using to manage the small-scale sector. Small-scale Miners Association, yeye propose say, obiara din hubom, na yehwe say, yebetumi aboa. It's a shared responsibility. At the community level, near the Nukrache, we or here a software say, who community near Juman, ye, we are DCE, who community near Juman, ye, we are Minerals Commission Penny. As last 3 days, a Kwamansi South Horn baby, and I met some of the chiefs there. We went round. Now, Usha baby acquire because small scale miners are not given license to mine in the forest reserve. I say it to a team. This license is a diamond and perform last scale. And we went there, and what really hurt, they said, we had Chinese mining these forest reserves. So some of the chiefs says they are going there to stop them. But I told them, you cannot stop them. You cannot stop them, because if they have licenses to operate, you cannot go there. You are going to put people's life at risk. But the best thing is to get to the Minerals Commission, and then we call those people, sit down with them, and ensure that what they do, they do it well. Because there are so many pits that are open that are not covered by these foreigners in that forest reserve. And we call on the authorities to ensure that our forests are protected. Because we are forestry penny near the Watna, near Sifshe, Nanipan Kopoem, near Becheston, and it's even not Ghanaians. Now, a young perform free baby from Omuve said, we should buy our heads in shade. Because at the end of the day, we lose our vegetation and we don't get anything in returns. Segana from code na sebio almost said no money sikanu pra. Yebaka says so we need to look at it also. Other challenges are last year, with the help of the board, we were able to resolve it. And he said, a form of good be our betunu, yes, but 3% are a friend withholding tax. We were able to engage with the ministry, myself and some of our colleagues, with the help of the Minerals Commission, to sit down and discuss the appropriate taxes because we realized there the cascading effect of 3%, which is all from a good year, all go to our bokadada, near start taxing 3% gross. Na essay Juman, and also Guama or more said be to Togo, maybe soon names the 3% want to almost more good one aquabonting. But with the help of the commission, the board, we were able to talk to the ministry. MIA reducing the withholding tax from 3% to 1.5%. Now, we share 3%, we are to about 1.5%, that is very significant. And also, taxes. From the time the taxes were in place up to now, we've been able to pay over 300 million Ghana cedis. Over 300 million Ghana cedis in withholding taxes have been paid by the small-scale miners. Challenges are the association also, any miners in war. Most of the challenges, one, lands are available mineable areas. If you look at the country, over 92% of the mining cover has been taken by large-scale operations. The rest is for small scale. And to look at the mineable areas, large scale in same. Most of these lands are in prospecting stage. Some even are not working on these lands. And are making room for people to go and mine because they cannot get license from those places and they are mining anyhow. We are still engaging with the Minerals Commission to ensure, and then the ministry said, some of these lands will be released. I went to Amansia West last 3 days again, and we checked the whole area. It's only 3 people who have concession there. All the area is for large scale. And these people are not even mining these areas. So you have a lot of illegality because people don't have the license for them to operate and operate properly. And also, Mr. Nelson support, financial support for the sector, and also high empower. And the issue of community mining. Community mining is a scheme very good. But if you look at the local level now, some DCs, after community mining say a way of just going to mine anyhow. Because there were a district and you go through the process to acquire license. Now, you go to near the president, say your president, a picture be abo near good animasi. If you say the president stands for responsible and sustainable mining, it doesn't stand for irresponsible mining. Then people will go and put it there and then they will start mining. Oshema, some constituency executives, Ebinsu air the same thing. You go, the same thing happens there. Those who are at the politically exposed people at the grassroots also are destroying the scheme. A scheme that is there to help bring those who are doing illegal mining on board. But going through the process to acquire licenses for the Minerals Commission manual for community mining to do, we are not working with it, and we are making it very difficult for that scheme to succeed. But with awareness creation, we know that we'll be able to go somewhere. So community mining, we should all know that community mining is not illegal mining. Community mining falls under the Minerals and Mining Act, and we need to acquire licenses to operate as a community mining as operating mining in communities. Some of the successes that have also come over the years, you know, all the time we talk about licensing regime is so cumbersome. Say no, Minerals Commission, at the Niayefreno Cadastral Mineral, the Mineral Cadastral Administrative System, IFN MCAS, This is an online platform. You don't need to travel from the northern part of the country and come south to come and do your legal search, as it used to be about last 2 years ago. Now you can sit at your district and you'll be able to do your legal search at the Minerals Commission offices closer to you. And then your application, you can start it in your home. Today is the day 1989 that is what's mainstream into the laws. Let Benin have the legal status to operate as small-scale miners to exploit the minerals in this country with the backing of the law. And it was done in 1989. The PNDC Law 1/8 was promulgated this day. And as small-scale miners, we want to use this day to create awareness about small-scale and to put some proposals in place to ensure that small-scale mining day, as we call it, the June 2nd, will be called Responsible Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining Day worldwide. So this is the second that we are celebrating. The first was celebrated at the UMAT in Takwa, and today we are here in Kumasi to celebrate the sustainable and small-scale mining. If you look at the ILO statistics, more than 80 million people are in artisanal and small-scale mines. The challenges are there: environmental challenges, lack of funds, conflicts in terms of surface and mineral rights are similar across board. So if we celebrate, we have something in common. And also, people who are within the ASM subsector are people who mine for survival. Majority are mining for survival. But now it has evolved, especially in Ghana, and becoming more of a business avenue where you see a lot of entrepreneurs entering into it. So it becomes more and more mechanized, what we call the fully mechanized operations, as to what we have, the artisanal mining operations. So you need a lot of capital in to ensure that you can do it and do it appropriately. But when we celebrate, it creates that awareness. It shows that people who are closer to their resources can also benefit from their resources. One of the things that we normally say, people say when you go to South Africa, Joburg, for example, they've mined and developed the country. Yes, the people who are mining are South Africans. Whatever they get, they invest back into their economy. We are not saying people should not, or foreigners should not participate in the exploration of our minerals, but we should empower the Ghanaian to move from small to medium and to large scale, so that at the end of the day, whatever we mine will remain in this country, and the multiplier effects. So that's the essence of that celebration. There should be conscious and deliberate efforts from governments to put this strategy in place to ensure that people migrate from one level of the mining stage to the industrial state, and that's what is going to bring a lot of change into our mining space. We're also educating our members on issues of irresponsible mining, the use of mercury, because Ghana have signed on the Minamata Agreement or the convention, and as you know, government has brought over 100 mining processing plants that is mercury free, which is going to improve or help in implementing the National Action Plan that a committee was set, which we are part to implement in terms of the mercury reduction from the small-scale mining sector. Front that the government is going to commission. Each plant, we have 100 of them, each can take over 100 people. So when you multiply 100 by 100, you're looking at 10,000 jobs. And when they are managed properly, 10,000 multiplied by 4, if you have dependents, you know that you are going to over 40,000 people just benefiting from 100. So these are areas that we are proposing. But the challenge is the brand that we have as small-scale mining. Anytime it's mentioned, people think of negativity. People think of people like small-scale miners, people who are not contributing anything. From 89 to now, the percentage of gold production in terms of contribution has moved from 2.2% in 1989 to over 35%. Now, no large-scale company as a unit can compete with the sector. Out of every 3 ounces of gold mined, 1 is coming from the sector, and it's mainly Ghanaians, as we've said. So government is taking key interest. We are all going to work together to ensure that these negative environmental footprints are managed so that the sector will see the real transformation in the economy. After all, it's not wrong a celebrity responsible and small-scale mining. Osha, ebesi 1989 no, na Ghana fo nyina ye adwuma omo ye no, yesi omo nyina ye galamsey fo a ye friend illegal miners. Nanso ewo saa bre no PNDC aban ewo ho no, ehu se gold dodo na ye tu okrom ha no, yes smuggle gold no call ye neighboring countries no, to say especially Togo, no one akoton. Na se sika na kasa ekro no mu. Enti aban ehwe se obetinti mmra na aboa amagana fo aye ni yetumi ahwe adwuma na omo ye no, ni amom ntitiye no maye ni yi 89 na aban years a enti ene na ye 33 years sa 89 krata ye san ma Ghana fo tumi se omo ye efoma gudi adwuma no ene na ye 33 years eno nti na ye di eda no na ye pese ye na wiase nyina agitum senior professor Mankwa kan ye no ye try a proposals good na na de amase ye fa day insi o na obi ehu se a responsible small scale mining day and a responsible artisan and small scale mining day no obi o tu fom agudi ehu se adwuma o ye no so ye ni yi so ye ni yi enu nti na ye decide then so no ye kan ye difficulties and na niam bebre a aba aboa ebi ni se minerals commission the BBA friend MCAS abaye first no opesonia licenses this way free enough who are not practice or bank crime say some they are good abes to fix this why computer o call online o betumi your search we your search we are who to fear no kito mobile phone pra o betumi aya application online o betumi aya application online and also so no by 2 weeks time who the shame na BBA cause actual 2 minutes e be ministry for recommendation ni adudu na no problem ye won say edu ministry ho a eche if you say minister nko na ese so to be science akrata ado so obehwe ne dudu na no ni office enti ama mining u ye no ni uni krata odi ya we galamsey ni ama saa akonya na ye nya na minister nsan ni ntem no ha adwen na so association no minerals commission nyina no hwe kwampa ye be fa so a enje bia license e renewal ni amani nyina yetumi assign. The same proposal say because of unavailability of minister and that jini ejuma or ye doors no anke betumi a aban many laws no na small scale licenses no udru minerals commissioner ye wie na 2 weeks na assign a ni etumi nyi omo ye ejuma ni nyina wo data so ni etumi hu say kodwuma nsa ana say abna na eye ejuma ho ha na wanye ni yi a etumi nedi esin say dipa bebre be kwakọ ejuma ye ni omo data mo de ye ejuma enu de association no ese osre na ban hwe ni entumi sa ne enemeni ya entini na eni amadodo na ye kenkan ya ye hwe san ka say mercury Ghana sign on Minamata convention the reduction of mercury aban the processing plant bi aba ye friend the gold catcher or the 100 aba 6 June obepa huntuma na ye nyina small scale mining ye gitum if say mercury e won so ansubon e won ne o tu for magudi no ho esa won so ansuboni e won the whole environment e ma the whole environment enti ni aban ni aba no e beboa na mercury reduction no under the Minamata convention ye tumi implement because you hear what we call the national action plan small scale miners nso kan we developing ni enti sa fidie ye ebe yi eno so beboa nanso enso a if say the man so a ye de ma de etua ne kakran kakran enya ade bi a ye beton ma abode ba ye ne kakran kakran ye adwuma kakran kakran na wetumi etua enti mo say miners nyina nkambom community yo cooperatives so omu nyina nkambom various districts no near nyina nkambom near minerals commission and Sambwa. Another one I council say ye ni private sector be sign agreements small scale miners 2 years ago from Goldridge Limited Nyamiadum omwetumi any mineral income investment fund akambom am here raise over $500 million yɛde bɛ inject into the small scale sector ɛno bɛboa ama foreigners especially Chinese for yɛn nuanom ni sika nti na ɔmo afa kuntu ase ɛtɛ akyi etu ɛsɛ no sɛnea meke forest bebree da ɔmo gu so tu ɛsɛ no ɛsan sɛ ɔmo sika a ɔmo fidie nti ɔmo tumi yɛ no saa nneɛma nyinaa bɛbrɛ n'ase na ma Ghana fo etumi tu fɔm agodie